welcome you to the Circle Up Prowl Weekly, Episode 5. My name's Clay.
My name's Jay.
I'm Justin.
Robert.
Alright, this is a special live edition coming from Boldcastify World Headquarters.
We're coming to you live during
election.
the middle point of the meltdown of our country.
This is an important part of our country.
The futures for the Dow has dropped 680 points, anticipating a Trump presidency. The Dow fell 540 points after 9/11. So,
wow.
So it's extreme stuff.
That's a meltdown.
All right.
Just like the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
similarities.
Really good analogies there.
Yeah. But
we're gonna regroup after this election. We're gonna learn. We're
Get
gonna
back
swing
at
the
it.
corners,
and we are going to not participate in the same things that we did last week.
We're gonna stack up some good elections, and then they're gonna come in bunches.
And
Sounds like the Jacksonville coaching staff should be listening to this.
They probably should be. They really should tune in to Boldcastify.
Yeah.
It's quality. And with that being said, let's check back on what happened from Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, Sunday afternoon. What do you think?
Well, for starters, it was a very, 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 very bad game.
Yeah, it was something. Well, I mean, the Chiefs had, they were without 5 starters.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it was encouraging. You could say it was encouraging because they played better and they outgained the Chiefs by like 200 yards or something, right?
Yeah.
But then reality sets in. You've got like backup quarterback in, starting running backs in injured reserve. The backup running back is on the sidelines injured.
So they're on their third or fourth running back, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Their pass-catching tight end, who's their number 2 target, got himself kicked out of the game pretty early on. Their number 1 target, Jeremy Maclin, their number 1 target, got injured out of the game in the first quarter. What else were they missing?
Yeah, he was out in the first series.
I think
They were out. They were the quarterback Alex Smith, running back Spencer Ware, Parker Indinger, who went on IR with a knee injury and lost, like you said, Maclin with a groin injury in the first series, and Travis Kelce went out in the fourth quarter after he made an ass out of himself.
Yeah, I mean,
Which it was kind of legitimate. That probably should have been PI, but whatever. Sucks. And someone told me he had a reality TV show.
Yeah.
So he probably was trying to rub up a little drama for that.
Sounds like it.
yeah, the PI called tossed towel at an official as if it was a flag. I mean, that's kind of childish. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about Kansas. Let's talk about the Duval Jaguars.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
let's do positives. Can we do positives?
Well-
Give me some positives, guys.
hold on. Let's look back real quick. The final down that mattered. The incomplete pass, double coverage with Blake Bortles.
That wasn't a positive.
It's not, but why?
I said positives.
I'm just saying, it still bugs me to this.
Damn it, Clay.
I know, I'm
God
stubborn.
dang.
I'm a masochist. What can I say? I'm a Jaguar fan.
All right.
Jaguar fans are masochists.
Who was open on that play, though?
It was Marquise, I believe they said.
Marquise or
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Everybody was covered on that play.
I could have sworn it was Mercedes or Marquise.
Well, it doesn't really matter. It should have been called a PI because
Yeah, he was draped.
That guy was held tighter than you hold a little baby when you're walking over a bridge.
All right, yeah.
That's solid, yeah. I'd go with that.
That's a good dad analogy.
That's a very good
Coming
analogy.
from single man Jason.
Yeah.
You're not in that situation where you're like hoping for your 6th-string receiver to make the catch.
No.
If Chris Ivory just holds on the ball going over the goal.
Yeah, if Chris Ivory just holds on to the ball, if T.J. Yeldon just holds on to the ball, if Brian Walsh doesn't fumble a previous punt return, there was another turnover.
It was the very bad interception.
Oh, Blake's interception. Okay,
Very bad.
so
That was terrible.
those 4 turnovers,
Terrible.
that's mind-boggling at this point. You're just like, and to still be in the game with 2 minutes and change left, I mean, that is kind of impressive, I guess.
In the game, you should have been winning the game.
No, not with 4 turnovers.
If you look at the
even
way
with
the
4
game
turnovers,
went, they were what 1 for 13 or something on third down conversions. Like the Chiefs could do nothing.
Well, the Jaguars had 25 first downs compared to the Chiefs' 10. They dominated them in pretty much every stat except turnovers.
But you can't give them the ball at the 35-yard line and expect them not to get points.
Exactly, and 13 of their points came off of those turnovers.
And not to mention
short fields.
Short field, 35-yard line.
I understand that, and not to mention that long return. That's almost like a turnover
like
itself.
45 yards, right? 42
yeah, because
yards.
where it put the ball.
But I mean,
biggest one was the turnover in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean it was.
But however you want to call it, controversial. But
you can argue and say that he crossed the goal line.
It was so close that if it was called a touchdown by the refs and then they reviewed it, it would have been upheld as a touchdown.
Yep.
But since it was called a fumble on the field, it wasn't conclusive enough evidence to change it.
Absolutely,
that's how close it was.
So basically, we can say, I guess there are some positives. Blake Bortles didn't look like shit.
Nah.
Hey, you told me before the show. You didn't look like shit.
I want to say that, but then you've also got, like, when they were at the goal line, right before he threw the touchdown to A-Rob, he had 2 plays in a row where he almost gave it away.
Yeah, he almost crashed it.
How about high-grade manure? Oh, can we go with that?
Yeah, he was probably like a low premium.
I still
have a mid-grade octane.
I still like the guy.
I still do, too, but
I can't help it. I've never wanted a quarterback to work out so bad in Jacksonville.
He's just... Sometimes some of his throws, like that one to Marquise Lee, if you would have hit him on target, that would have been a touchdown.
Like, seriously, there's no quarterback in this team's history where I was hoping for them to be good. Like, Mark Brunell was good.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
David Garrard had a moment where he was good,
and
when he stopped being good,
I was like, all right, let's move on. He was a high achiever. But yeah. I like David's personality.
But when he hit his ceiling, I was like, all right, let's move on. I've never been like, wow, this is my guy. I really want him to work out.
Right. Any Leftwich?
No, not even Leftwich.
He had a better windup than Blake, though.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Oof.
It's a very similar.
That's hard to say right there.
Baseball
That's
pitcher
something.
windup.
Wow.
He was like a not likable Blake Bortles.
No.
But
I can tell you some stories about old Leftwich.
So
some very colorful ones off air.
So we could break it down and say there were some positives, but let's cut the BS. There was not very many positives. Yes, we did outrush them over double.
Yeah, that's we put up like a third of our rushing performance in the whole season in one game.
I know we moved from like 32nd rushing to like 25th or something in one rushing game.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, they did really well running the ball against a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, I think they're only missing one player on defense.
Oh yeah, their defense is top 10.
Yeah, well, I think. Well, no, Justin Houston doesn't count because they hasn't played all year.
No.
It's a pretty much put together defense.
Yeah, so I mean that is a positive. Now, can they keep that going? That's what I really will give that a positive grade. Now, if they rush for over 100 yards next week at home in Houston, I will be happy.
Yeah.
That's when I will be like, that's a fucking positive.
Until
then, it is what it is. It's an anomaly.
Yeah, but it's an aberration.
Yep.
And honestly, it's getting to the point to where, like, when I do see progress with this team, it's just, like, making me mad. Like, what if they turn it around and they, like, win, like, 3 of the next 5?
That'd be just frustrating.
It's just going to be super frustrating. They're going to be sitting, like, just out of range of doing anything useful.
Yeah.
Especially in this division.
Yeah, which is the division we'll elaborate on that a little later, but this division sucks, too.
They outgained the Chiefs by 218 yards.
There it is.
Ivory broke out for himself, 107. He was one of the bright spots of the day. On the downside, Jaguars fall to 0-3 in the AFC West, still with Denver left on the schedule.
On their way to 0-4.
Yeah.
I don't think they can.
Denver's going to be rough, yeah.
Well, I mean,
4 turnovers. That's just
I mean, if we can't beat ourselves out of a dang bar if we fucking turn over the ball 4 damn times any game, especially against the Vikings, Denver.
Yeah, I mean,
come on. I can imagine. I can't imagine any team.
That's just carelessness. I mean, just period.
And
Have that many turnovers.
And you can call it.
Some teams can recover from that.
And you can call it pressing. You can call it whatever the hell you want to. Bottom line is, hold on to the goddamn ball.
Only a couple teams can recover from that. I recall a Monday night game when the Bears were playing the Cardinals in Arizona. It was the year the Bears went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those nights where Rex Grossman was at his worst. And
that was often.
They turned it over 4 times. And they scored on 2 defensive touchdowns, and Devin Hester ran back a punt for a touchdown, and they won.
All right.
And that was a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
All right.
So this doesn't happen often.
Sounds like a Baltimore team in the 2000s.
So, quick question. It's kind of confusing. Why is Brian Walters still returning punts?
Because they don't trust anyone. Because everyone else is like fumbled punts.
Well, he fumbled 2 this past game. So I say, Jax, cut Brian Walters.
Remember, he was a sure-handed one.
Cut your losses. Sure-handed in catching the ball.
I'm just saying. He's
not
a sure-handed one.
Not in punt returns.
I'm just saying.
Why is
he was supposed to be the
Rashad
sure-handed one.
Why is Rashad Green not active?
They mad at him, I guess, because of him making his dumb decisions to come out of the 2-yard line or whatever.
He's trying to make a goddamn play. Respect the motherfucker for making a damn play.
Even if it's stupid.
Yeah, even if it's stupid.
That's pretty stupid.
I mean, hell, Devin Hester, how many times did he come out of the 2-yard line?
Yeah, but he usually made it half the time. He had that breakaway speed.
So does Rashad Green.
But he's only got it like close once.
Oh, I'm just stating the facts here. I mean, how long did it take for Devin Hester?
It was pretty good pretty early, for the most part.
Well, because he got chances. That's all. That's my point.
Yeah, he does have a point.
I mean, I guess I'll give you that. He had chances.
Where they're at now, I mean, what could they lose with doing something different?
Thank you.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm all about doing something different at this point.
Unless magic happens, I mean, they might as well just try to figure out what they're going to do next year and who they need to cut.
Right.
Yep.
Pretend this is the preseason just at the end.
Yeah. Preseason just at the end. Spoken like a true Jaguar fan.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's what it is. Because they even said that this was that they were preparing this like a preseason camp. Kansas City was.
Yeah, that totally
Like Alex Smith could have played.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, it's just Jaguars.
How many people got injured, though?
Yeah, they had 5 players though.
Wow, they really do not know what preseason means.
They had 3 players before the game and 2 lost during the game. 1 because he's an idiot. And one just
whole towel deal.
Yeah, and one just like messed up.
He was already injured. You're talking about
Kelsey?
Macklin?
No, it's only Kelsey.
Kelsey has just come back too.
Okay.
Like
well, I mean, Macklin too.
games,
It's wrong.
Macklin was like an iffy of whether he's going to play at all. But the real question of like who to cut are there's the big 3. And
Gus.
I think it's a foregone conclusion that Gus is not going to be here next year.
No.
But
the
other 2 big ones kind of come in a package deal. I think Blake is here next year.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think he's here next year.
But is he here with like somebody legitimate actually pushing him for the spot?
I don't think he's gonna be first string.
I think he can be first string, but like I've told Jason before, and I've told a few, I believe they're going to draft a quarterback, whoever it is.
I think he's going to have to fight for his position.
Yeah, depending on what
they might pick up a free agent quarterback
that could be a possibility.
Take the job from him.
I think it would be smart because he needs to prove himself.
Whether it's free agency, acquisition, through draft, somewhere. You're not going to have. It's not going to be a Chad Henne guy. You're going to have.
No, I think Chad Henne's gone.
What if Sam Bradford's out of Minnesota next year and they bring in game manager Sam Bradford? He could legitimately take Blake's job.
And I would be fine with that.
Well, I mean, that would definitely put the handwriting on the wall for the development of Blake Bortles. If he can't beat out a game manager in Sam Bradford.
Well, he doesn't turn over the ball.
They're different quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, turning over the ball, not turning over the ball.
What I'm saying, long term for Blake.
It's very
unless basically what you're wanting to say is you want to put Blake on the bench for an X amount of time and then see if you can redevelop him.
Well,
no, I mean like in camp they're gonna actually have like legitimate
a legitimate battle.
Unlike the
Arkansas quarterback wasn't even like
no, it wasn't.
It was not even
a
sniff of that.
No, it wasn't. And
That's not what it was for.
And I didn't think it was. I think the Arkansas guy was supposed to be a developmental guy, right?
Yeah, Brandon Allen's a developmental guy.
Yes. But
he's got a heck of an arm.
Although analytics says A+.
Yeah, I think he could be a good quarterback.
Even his small hands included.
Yes.
He can still do it.
I'm not saying great, but I think he could be a serviceable quarterback.
Well, I'm down.
He's just a hypothetical. What I'm saying is they might bring in somebody who's already proven that they can be a competent quarterback.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they necessarily...
No. They're not.
They only draft if Dave Caldwell's gone. That's the only way they draft a quarterback, I think.
Yes, and
I don't know if he's gone.
We can all agree that Dave Caldwell, because
perhaps, but I don't think so.
He's hit on Lee. No, not even a chance.
No, I'm saying about drafting a quarterback
in the first round.
No one ever said first round.
Yeah,
no one here said first round.
Well, I don't understand what you're talking about.
You can still draft a quarterback,
Yeah.
not being in the first round. Obviously, it's been shown in Oakland and a few places. Washington, you can get a quarterback that's not in the first round.
He's not that great in Washington.
He does the job.
He does the job of losing.
He's pretty all right. Not terrible, but he's pretty all right.
He has a losing record.
Now, look what's around him.
I mean, I thought I heard another part of. All right.
Okay, well, look at the second rounder in Oakland.
Yeah, but according to Mark, he should have been a first rounder.
He probably should have been. I'm not disagreeing. But should have been, could have been, would have been.
Okay, what about Dak Prescott?
There you go. That's an even better one.
Or are we just gonna? I just don't understand the point. Where are you taking this?
My point is, you can get a quarterback, not being a first rounder, second rounder, still have a decent draft for acquiring positions and building up around your quarterback that you currently have, and pieces that you do need, while still acquiring a quarterback in the draft to push Blake.
I think what he's trying to say.
My biggest thing is, I don't see that from Dave Caldwell.
And well, I mean, it would be admitting a mistake, which it's proven he doesn't want to do.
Yes, because he hasn't. What mistakes has Dave Caldwell admitted to making? You can argue and say Luke Jokel.
I'll get to it. He admitted that he should have supplemented more with free agency.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
That's a mistake that he did.
I was thinking more along the draft.
No, that's kind of it's about there.
I mean, it's
still building your team.
It's a huge part of building your team. Obviously, we went a different route than most folks do. Like most folks,
way too young.
Most folks do it like the Chiefs already had 6 Pro Bowlers. That's a different situation. But when they rebuilt through the draft, supplementing with free agency. When Oakland rebuilt, that's pretty similar train wreck they were. They built through the draft. Their stars on their team are through the draft, but they supplemented with free agency. And we really did. Like we were, our first couple of years, our big signings were
Dakota Watson.
You know, like
Geno Hayes.
Yeah. Is Geno in the league?
I don't think so.
I can also name.
I don't think he's on Twitter.
I can also name
Alan Ball.
Oh yeah.
Alan Ball is still playing.
But at least we got Uncle Bill. He was all right.
But those were our big ones.
Sindaric Marks.
Yeah,
Roy Miller.
We got a couple of diamonds. We got a couple of good pieces out of it.
And Sindaric Marks is a bigger deal to us than he was to anybody at that point. Like he was a bust that
in Tennessee
was having such a hard time getting another contract. He took a prove-it deal in Jacksonville. That's where Senderick Marks was status-wise. We kind of lucked out with Senderick Marks.
Yes.
But my point,
And Roy.
My point is, I'm talking draft. What picks has he admitted failure with?
What GM does that, though?
Yeah. You usually don't want to admit that, especially going into your 4th year.
I would say he admitted failure to his 2013 draft because he's already cut a lot of them.
Yeah. Which it took him a long time to do it, but he finally started to.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you cut your draft picks, some of them as quick as he has.
Well, still the top 2 are still there, and the 4th one.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with it?
I mean,
it's hard to cut them that early. I mean, especially you want to give them the chance as long as possible.
but I mean, I don't like it.
What do you mean?
I don't like how nonchalant this front office has been.
Well, and unfortunately, that's the way of the road with this crowd. I don't know how to explain it to you. That's just kind of what their MO is. And Dave, like I think I've told both of you before, 2013 is going to be repeated in this draft or in some capacity.
Yes, and that makes me sick right there because Kelvin Beachum, he's averages the day is long. The other guy, Parnell, he's kind of crap too.
Not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really not great. There's a reason it was a backup.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, you are a backup because you suck. So I don't even want to begin this, but it just sucks that we are back in 2013 with maybe or not a quarterback.
I don't think we're back in 2013 at all. The only similarity is we might pick an offensive lineman in the first round. We're not back in 2013.
No. That's not where I was going. I was basically saying.
The reality is this team is way better.
It's much better than 13. Only route I was going was left tackle, safety.
You don't think that? Well, the safety Cyprian is balling out. This is his best year.
It is.
It is his best year.
It is his best year.
Even Pete Briscoe said, it's amazing how that happens whenever you're in a contract year.
Exactly. There you go.
It's his best year, and it's still not great.
Thank you.
That's the thing.
Not according to your PFF.
But
I'm just stating facts.
Okay, but talent-wise, this team is so much more talented than that 2013 team was.
Yeah, and there's so much more talent on this team.
And so it's
just the coaches and talent.
A similar situation, but it is a dangerously similar situation to 2012, where like you might be too attached to that quarterback, and that can set you back.
Only 2 more years, right? So you're telling me there's still a chance that we do it before 2020?
What?
We can go to the Super Bowl before 2020.
Oh, that was hoping for 2017.
Oh,
we
fuck that
go
shit.
to London in 2020.
Okay, yeah, 2020 we're moving to London. Okay, that makes more a lot.
I always wanted to be 2017.
Fuck that. I will. What do you got?
I wanted it to be 99. I wanted it to be 2005. I wanted it to be 2007. I wanted it to be 2013, 14, 15.
I wanted it to be this year, 2016, 2017, whatever you want to call it. But it's not.
So we digress from our impromptu rant and draft talk, which is way too early. But hey, it's Jacksonville. It's November. And that's what we do.
Yeah, that's
draft talk, front office talk, because this is where they put us.
And we didn't even really talk about draft
No, it's just the dynamics of the franchise.
It just sucks because we are the crap of the NFL. I think there was a stat earlier this week that we have lost more games since 2012 than the Cleveland Browns.
That's depressing.
That's very depressing.
That's worth holding your franchise.
Yeah. So moving on. AFC South news. Colts beat Packers. And
I was up in Lambeau.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Send the Pack to 4-4. Man, that's pretty bad.
And the Colts still suck. It adds insult to injury whenever things like this happen. Jordan Todman returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Good for him.
Yeah, it is. Why couldn't he never do that here?
He did. Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Oh, forgot.
He's pretty forgettable. That's why I'm not too worried about it. You do you, Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked him. He was all right when he was here, but
yeah.
it doesn't. I'm not going to lose any sleep about him doing what he does in Indy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back down to the next game. 2 defensive touchdowns were scored in the second half in a big running game by Melvin Gordon, which pushed the Chargers to a 43-35 victory over the Tennessee Titans.
Which that's Chargers. Damn.
Yeah, and one of those defensive touchdowns, I believe, was by Landry.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Another former Jaguar. But, once again.
And Reggie Nelson also.
They weren't going to be here.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another former Jag.
But once again, these guys, they weren't going to be any part of the rebuild. So.
No. But the fact that they're still doing well when we were such full of talent over those past couple of years, because we still have talent. We can all agree on that. Jaguars have some sort of talent on the roster.
Right.
I mean, but
okay.
Derrick Henry had the calf strain. Is still day to day.
Yeah, he doesn't even matter though.
Yeah, he doesn't. DeMarco
Murray's the head
of that monster.
Yeah, he's the head chicken up there. But it was good to see the Titans lose.
Yeah,
it's good.
Always is.
Yeah.
Screw the Titans. Screw the Colts. And now on to the screwy of the week. The Houston Texans.
Salute service game, huh?
Yep. That is salute to service.
Man, that's going to be... I'm expecting a solid 42,000 out there.
Wow, that's depressing.
That seems high.
Yeah.
I mean, I know...
You expect a lot of Texans fans.
I know the BCB was calling for like a walkout, like halftime or something.
Oh, I thought it was like 15 minutes in or 16
Yeah,
minutes.
they want to do what like some supporter groups for big soccer clubs. They'll do like organized walk-ins, like walkouts kind of thing, like where they'll be there in their seats, and right when the game gets going, they're out, so you can see them leaving and be like, oh wow, what's going on over there? Then they can tell people why they're so pissed off about whatever.
Huh.
We got a lot to be pissed off about.
We do. We have a lot to be pissed off. But hey, Brock Osweiler, quote, I have great confidence in myself.
I'm glad you do, Brock Osweiler. Hopefully you can help Blake gain some of his confidence back by throwing interceptions.
Both of those guys, if you're answering questions about your confidence all the time, you probably are struggling in confidence.
Probably a lot of lack of confidence.
He talks a lot in the mirror, I'm assuming.
Can Blake and A-Rod get some chemistry back? I don't think there's a lack of chemistry. I just don't think they're utilizing players, as I discussed before the show, properly.
Yeah,
Okay.
A-Rod's got to stop playing like a bitch.
Thank you. Something's wrong there because why didn't he reach out for the ball in the middle of the third quarter? Put a little more reach out because the ball sailed right over. And then there's one earlier in the game where he should have just
laid out.
No, he shouldn't have laid out, and it would have went right to him. He basically did the opposite of the two things.
I only saw the one play where he should have laid out.
That's the first one I was talking about.
Okay,
mid part of the third quarter, the ball sailed right over him, and
like
it was nice. He didn't even try to lay out.
Like I told you, I wonder if because that was the play that was wide open, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I told you before the show, I wonder if he has like a "fuck you, Blake." I'm wide open, and you sail this motherfucker 2 feet over my damn head.
I mean, possible. Anything's possible, but I hope not.
I mean, he's constantly like hell. He got 2 wide receivers killed going over the damn middle.
Yeah, he's gotten that to happen a few times.
I mean,
he's not good with it.
That's how those routes go. I mean, I watched Peyton Manning do that to a bunch of guys. Austin Collie
I understand
had a
what you're
very
saying.
short career.
Yeah,
Because of Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning is a great quarterback. That's what those routes do, though. I mean, that's a risk-taking route.
It is.
But
sometimes the
sometimes
balls,
you can lead the wide receiver a little bit.
Right.
sometimes the balls are just so off target and they're having to reach for them in the middle of the route.
Week.
It was better. It was better this week, but he's got to tighten that up some. Okay, overall, what are your thoughts about Nathaniel Hackett?
Called a good game.
Called a good game. I still think it's an anomaly.
How did he get us to run the ball like that?
Well, calm down. Take it down.
I'm calm.
Take down that teal Jaguar. Lower him down.
No, I'm not. That's been
Let it roar.
in a big way.
Let it roar.
Because it's one game, I want to stack them up. That's what I want.
Well, Coach says they come in bunches, so I'm just going to assume we run for 300 yards this week.
Or at least 100.
I like it.
Yeah. You keep stacking
Anything
up your
about
games.
10, I'll be happy.
We get about 10. Wow.
New deck Rams high.
Okay. Another frustrating piece that I don't understand. Maybe you guys can shed some light on it, just for me personally. Call it the J segment, because I'm at a loss right now. Okay, you have Brian Walters, you have Rashad Green, you have Marquise Lee. Who are your other punt returners, kick returners, any sort of returners?
Who are our returners?
Yes. Besides those three that I listed off. I think we have a couple more, to be honest. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
In preseason, you had a
Denard.
Ben.
Yeah.
Denard got kickoffs, but not punts.
Okay.
Which is weird. I always thought it was weird that they have like some for kickoffs, some for punts.
Yeah, that is very odd.
So I feel like your best options right now, you don't want to take Marquise away from like the starting lineup.
Marquise did it too. Marquise returned punts.
Yeah, I would not put Marquise. I'd keep him in the lineup.
It's like when Drew was running punts in 2006 and then never again because you got to keep the snaps for the real deal, the real offense, not special teams.
Yeah.
Special teams are for guys that aren't getting enough snaps, and that's why I think really has been probably your best punt returner.
It's a good option.
So, okay, what did Rashad Green do wrong besides fumbling a ball one time?
I mean, he hasn't been
good
at returning punts this year.
And taking the steps out of the end zone. Taking the ball at the wrong time.
Yeah, that was in the same game.
Yeah.
He dropped the punt, and then later he fielded a punt inside the 5-yard line that he should have just let bounce. If he lets it bounce there at the 25, and a smart punt returner knows that.
That was
and so they're like, well, we need to put a smart guy in there. Let's put Brian Walters in there, and then this happens.
Well, he fumbles twice. He was able to recover one of them.
That's my point.
But I guess my point is who's going to return punts?
Well, you got my vote.
Yeah. Or you put old Denard dog back there again.
Denard fumbled him away a couple times last year too.
Mr. Denard Robinson.
I'm just saying, these are your options.
Well, you keep saying about giving this guy another shot, but then every time they mention someone, you want to say, well, they dropped the ball. Why can't they get another shot?
Well, I was just curious.
Last houses, Jason.
I was just curious.
Yeah, and I don't.
At this stage, they might as well just try something new. I mean, where they
at this point, they're eventually going to try Green again.
Hell, I mean, I would.
But I think they got pretty agitated with his bonehead mistakes in that game.
Yeah, I understand it, but I mean,
not to mention his comments on Twitter probably didn't help either. It's all in a nutshell. It all kind of piled up.
Twitter kills everyone.
Yeah, play like garbage and then get in a fight on Twitter with fans. That's a good idea.
Especially when you're not like a starting receiver. I got love for him, but not. You got to be smart.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely true. And another thing I want to touch base on is why aren't they utilizing Julius Thomas at all?
I don't know. 2
catches, 21 yards for a net average of 10 yards per catch.
I think overall they're not seeing enough from Julius. Just in general. I mean, like...
From what I've seen, he's not getting open.
Okay.
Not getting open. Not really... Doesn't look like he's trying too hard on a lot of the routes I see him running. If he's in pass coverage, I mean, what's the point of even having him out there? He's such a waste of space when it comes to
yes. Okay, now my only thought process goes a little something like this. He was never really good at running routes. He was never between the hashes guy in Denver. So why do we expect to bring someone from Denver and make him a between the hashes guy when I had him in fantasy for 2 years before he came to the Jags? He was an end zone target. And you mean to tell me on that last play where they ran to Brian Walters, you don't even attempt to throw it to Julius? You throw it to Brian Walters?
Yeah, I don't know why Brian Walters was the target there
That
at all.
dumb.
But it's just mind blowing because you're paying a guy $7.5 million for 21 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
And that's
anything though.
And that's probably part of the reason why they want to use him more in between the hashes and different things, because they're paying him so much. They want to utilize him as much as they can.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. Maybe it's just me. It's more that round box, square hole kind of thing.
I get what you're saying, and maybe we'll see his role get developed more with Hackett. We'll see.
I don't know.
But so far, and especially this season, it's been minimal at best.
Yeah, and it's kind of frustrating because...
And I think he's gotten frustrated. And I'm definitely starting to wonder if he's probably the one that made the comments about Blake.
Wonder, right?
When I'm saying wonder, I'm pretty confident.
I'm pretty confident.
Especially
There's
now.
an offensive player.
I was thinking it was maybe Beecham before, but now I'm pretty confident that it was Julius because of his disappearance from the offense and everything to go with it. So, all right, well, let's wrap up with the Texans game. What do you expect to see?
I guess I'll say a little defense, a little offense, a little football. You know, nothing too awesome, nothing too bad.
I like it. Detailed. What do you got, Justin?
There'll be points. There's going to be
They'll stack them up.
Some first downs, some second downs. I don't expect us to win. I don't expect us to win for the remainder of the season. I don't expect us to win.
Yeah,
If
It
we
could happen.
roll out one or two, it's going to happen, but
It
don't expect
could.
it.
It's not necessarily going to happen.
yeah.
And this is a Houston team that
That theoretically
we talk about how bad certain things are about this team, but they are getting enough consistent play from their unit overall. With a terrible offense, they're still
pretty bad.
They're still above 500, right?
Yeah, they're 5-3, I think.
Yeah.
So
Are they coming off a bye week?
Yes.
No. So that makes it better.
So we don't beat teams with winning records.
No.
No.
How many times has Gus Bradley beaten a team with a winning record? That's one worth looking up.
Probably not much. Was it the Giants team?
That's right. That was the only team.
They had a terrible year when we beat them.
Oh, then,
Yeah,
then that's pretty much my.
Ravens had a bad year last year when we beat them.
I can't think of one then.
So you're trying to say if Jaguars beat someone with a winning record, they go suicidal?
Bad teams stay bad, and bad teams beat bad teams. That's about it.
No.
We beat the Browns under Gus Bradley. Believe it or not, they didn't have a winning record that year.
No.
We beat the Titans last year. We beat the Colts last year, who got close to a winning record. They didn't get there, though.
I know what was the Brown? Not the Browns team. Which team was it that first year? No, I was thinking maybe the Texans.
Texans were
Texans
in
were
full-on
horrible.
meltdown.
Yeah, when we
and
played
after
them.
they lost to us for the second time, they fired their coach.
Yeah, so that definitely wasn't it.
I legitimately can't think of a time Gus Bradley's beaten a winning
He probably
team.
hasn't.
So I think I remember them mentioning the fact that Oakland would have been the biggest win of his career. So there you go.
I reckon.
Guess
You
with that
can't
being
have a
said,
newcomer
it's
come
time
in
to wrap it up.
and steal the show.
So any score predictions?
No, not really.
I expect a low scoring game.
I'll say 6 Jaguars.
Steal the show.
Just 6 points total.
6
Yep.
points.
Win by 6. How about?
Win by 6.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I'll go with that.
I expect something kind of close to what we had this past week, but probably maybe like a field goal or more difference. Because I think Houston might capitalize a little bit better. But I'm not certain.
No.
Their wide receivers are elite.
Yeah, their receivers are
They're
consistent.
They are better than the Jaguars. Wide
They're
receivers
consistent
at this point.
A lot better than the Jaguars receiving core right now. And it's weird. Because, like, I felt so good about our receiving core
coming in
this season. And part of their decline is attached directly to Blake. But part of it, man, they just aren't playing the same.
No, because they don't have the fire.
No.
They don't.
No, they really do not.
And
Even in adversity.
And it really stands out with A-Rob because he's getting the targets. He's getting so many targets and he's not doing much with them.
Yeah, so with that, I wanted to touch on one last thing before we wind this sucker down. Does Robinson get a contract at the end of the season? 8 games in?
No.
I love it.
I hate everything right now.
I would probably lean towards no.
It was a Twitter
Possible, but
I mean, you get it for real cheap,
yeah, you get a deal.
like $20 and a half flat, Dr. Pepper.
But does he want to sign here?
What other options does he have?
I know after this year,
Never
not
know.
many.
He may take whatever.
Arena football?
No one's going to arena football. Arena football's dead.
Keep forgetting that.
Well,
Maybe they'll bring back the XFL.
Jesus. I don't know what to say on that.
what was that? I guess.
That's for another depressing episode of Circle Up Prowl Weekly.
You can't have a
I don't know.
newcomer come in
We'll figure it out eventually.
and steal the show.
Team's going to get better. Draft's going to get better.
Always feels like
The law of averages says that it would have happened by now.
Yeah, 10 years. What was it? 9 years of picking in the top 10.
Follow us on Boldcastify. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Thanks for joining us tonight.
for that pregame, though.